anything like me, you might have wondered, what are the principles of healthy daily nutrition? What does it take to eat right every day? There are so many different people saying so many different things. Everything from paleo is the right way to go, to vegan, to everything in between. So what is the most nourishing, healthy way to eat? I have 3 keys for you today of healthy daily nutrition to set your foundation and answer these very questions. So what is healthy daily nutrition? My name is Kelly Jennings, and I am the owner of Apex Nutrition, LLC, and today I'm going to answer this for you. Now, it may not be as easy as me telling you that this philosophy is right or that philosophy is right. Both can be right, and I know that's why nutrition is so frustrating and it muddies the water. But if you follow these 3 keys, you'll get it right no matter what you're doing. So here we go. Key number 1. Minimize, omit, do away with as much processed food as you can. So processed food, when I say that, I mean most things that come in packages, whether it's a box or a bag, you know what I'm saying, from the store. And this doesn't mean that every processed food out there is horrible. It's not, and I'll give you an example in a moment. But for the most part, the more you make things at home, the more you get foods that come from the earth or from an animal, and you are confident and okay with what part of the animal that is, and usually with proteins from animals, whether it's dairy or meat, I'm gonna tell you to get the best quality and organic and local if possible there. And that's really for all proteins. But if you're comfortable with the animal or it came from the earth, you are gonna do so much better than ever starting with something that came to you in a package. So that is number 1, and it may seem hard, but guess what? I have great plans for you with full meal plans that you can download from clicking on links below, where I lay this all out for you. So we are talking about eating things like fruits, vegetable, eggs, nuts, those sort of things, and we will go through this as we go in this video. So that's number 1. Now, an example of a processed food that is decent is, first of all, when you get a processed food and you're looking at that box, we are going to ignore everything on the front of it. Just don't even look at it. That is all marketing. There may be some truth in it. There's probably some lies in it. Maybe you can believe the weight at the bottom. That's it. Marketing, 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 okay? Turn it over. Now, even skip over that nutrition label, because guess what? We might not care at this point how much protein is in there or how much fat, because we don't know where those things are coming from. That's what's important first, is where are they coming from? You can manipulate, food manufacturers can manipulate those numbers by adding, isolates and different things in. So we're gonna skip that for now too, and we're gonna just look at those ingredients. Now, if you see, 3, 4, 5 ingredients and you are comfortable with every one of those, and all of those are whole foods that have been put into this product, then hey, you've got one that you can use, and that does make your life a little bit easier. But if you're not okay with them and you see things you don't understand, then I would say to go ahead and put it away. And then the last thing is, you can look at that nutrition label if you have goals around those numbers. But we want to make sure those ingredients are what is high quality. And if you have a whole real food, you probably don't even have a list of ingredients, because it's one thing. So that's where we start. Number 2 is, overall, we want to reduce the carbohydrates in our diet compared to the standard American diet. And this doesn't mean that you have to go super low carb or go into ketosis or anything like that, and that's a different video for a different day. What this means is that the carbohydrates in your food, now carbs come from grains and grain products, beans, fruits, starchy vegetables, we're not really gonna count like the salad type vegetables, those are mostly just fiber, and dairy. And then of course sugar and sweets. So those are where carbohydrates come from. Now, first of all, we want to reduce all the refined ones, the things that are mostly white, so white sugar, white starches, get rid of those. Next, so even those whole food healthy carbs during the day, we are going to reduce those. So that just means that they can be a part of breakfast, lunch, and daytime snacks, not snacks, but snacks. But they shouldn't be the foundation of the meal. And then in the evening, we're gonna reduce them even further, just because we're generally going to bed after dinner. We're not needing all that extra energy that we get from carbs right before dinner. So that's a good time to reduce them, because you just don't need them. So the reason why is because in research and in my experience, people just do lose fat when they reduce carbs. It's just that simple. And so when we use them when we need them during the day and then reduce them at night, this is a good way to do it because you can still feel great, not have cravings and this sort of thing, but still reap the benefits. And there are negative health aspects to overloading carbs beyond fat loss versus fat gain. And it just has to do with the hormone insulin and when that circulates too much throughout your body. And that is another video for another day, and we'll do that. But that is the second principle, is just to reduce carbohydrates overall. Number 3 is that I like to set up a healthy eating pattern for clients. And I know this is a bit controversial because some people really believe in intuitive eating and that sort of thing, but let me explain. A lot of times when people come to work with me, they are very busy, they kind of are haphazard about eating, and they suffer a lot of cravings and that sort of thing. So by setting up a healthy eating pattern with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, some clients wait to eat breakfast a little bit, that's fine. Some people like snacks in between meals, healthy things like apples and nuts, then that's fine too. But by setting this up, we are gonna eliminate that intense hunger that people feel when they forget meals or are too busy for them or get them on the run. That intense hunger often leads to emotional eating, stress eating, and cravings. And what's more is oftentimes when our blood sugars just drop a little bit, things seem more stressful and overwhelming to us. So it's kind of like a cycle. So by starting with a healthy eating pattern, we kind of set a new standard. By eating light at night, we're hungry in the morning to start over again, which is great. And then we can talk about intuitive eating and really listening to your body. And it really does go hand in hand, but I do start with the pattern first. So I know these are a bit broad and you might want more details, more exact meal plans and what to eat. I've got those for you too. Click on the link below and you will find my plans with full meal plans and everything you'd want to know about all of this. I do an action guide so you can put it right into practice. There's not too much to read initially. You can start today. So these are the 3 principles again. 1, we are going to minimize processed foods. Number 2, we're going to reduce carbohydrates overall and especially get rid of refined ones. And number 3 is we're going to eat in a healthy pattern that supports when we need energy versus when we're about to go to bed, so that our bodies can kind of reset. So if you want so much more, head on over to apexnutritionllc.com. And thank you so much for listening.